Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kastuba Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. It's Walk on Wednesday without a Walk on Wednesday.
Sorry I didn't realize that because it feels like Tuesday because we didn't have a show on Monday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. Maybe we'll do a Walk on Thursday tomorrow. Here live with Mara, spinning the dials, knitting away. Kastuba's in Mayapur. And we have a whole little crew here joins us live. Most people, it's hard for me to understand because when I think of the podcast, I think of all these faces that show up on the screen every day with us. But this is just a tiny pin drop of the people that listen. There's thousands of people that listen every day. And but it's nice. We have a little online community where sort of everybody knows each other. So if you want to get in that group, you can. It's absolutely free. You just go to Wisdom of the Sages 108@gmail.com. And Miss Mara will send you out the links, and she'll get you the Zoom link, and you can join us. And it's hard to follow us. We move quick. Sometimes we travel, sometimes we cancel, but still everyone shows up, and it's quite impressive. I say good morning to everybody. We sort of know each other's names. It's sort of cool, isn't it? It's a cool thing. Matter of fact, we started doing this podcast when we started trying to get it better, the quality better. One of the things was, because you do it on Zoom, the quality can't be as excellent as it could be.
The sound quality.
But we were like,
camera quality.
There's something fun about having it live on Zoom too. Every now and then we can unmute somebody, pick someone's brain, look at their apartment.
It's definitely very different than if you and I were just in a studio, just
talking back and forth
with each other. Yeah, it's very different.
My ADD mind needs to be distracted by people just moving their bodies around.
You guys know we're about to hit 1,200 episodes this week.
Oh, really? What day?
Oh, yeah.
On Friday.
Ooh.
And I think on Saturday we're going to hit 200 Q&As.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, question: are we going to do something special for it? Can we do something
1,200. I think we got to get to 1,500 before we start.
No. 1,200 is a milestone.
Well, is 1,300 a milestone? Is 1,400 a milestone?
Every 100 is a milestone.
All right.
Unless you're counting.
You just like to celebrate. That's it.
So what? It's a celebration. You know what? Life's a celebration, Kastuba.
All right. You don't have to get angry about me. Angry with me about it.
It's a celebration. The type of music that's in this mind of mine. About 30 songs on rotation all the time.
Shut them out.
And 1/3 of them are Christmas songs. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting in that.
Why don't we get into the nugget? Why don't you bring your mind to the nugget? Hold the nugget in your mind.
Right.
Place that nugget on the altar of your mind and worship it.
Stuba, we can dance if we want to. We can leave our friends behind.
You can leave that song behind if you want to.
I was thinking like that's a very Krishna conscious song. You know what? Just dance. All right.
So we got a nugget today. You got it? You're pulling it up?
There are some religions that there are a lot of religions that dance, and there's a lot of religions that don't dance. They're like anti-dance. And that would be a red flag for me.
Well, Raghunath, I called you up the other day and you were just going to bed and I said, I got to talk to you. And you said, I'm just going to go to bed right now. I said,
well,
okay.
you called me at like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like laying in bed trying to go to bed.
But, and we spoke
a little like I'm like a criminal.
No. But we spoke about it a little bit on the show, but that was my realization was that you're a good kirtan leader. Raghunath, I say that?
That means a lot to me.
Thank you.
I'm that good.
But I'm going to tell you how you can become a better one.
Oh, all right. I get it. It was a setup.
No. It wasn't a setup. But I just had this realization, as I was dancing in that kirtan that Niranjana Swami was leading the temple.
Yeah.
That first of all, there's this. I won't even get into it. There's a whole nother.
What? All right. Give me the second. Give me the dancing part.
Okay, I'll give you the second. The second one.
Was dancing good going on?
It was beautiful. That's my point. That's my point. You need kirtan leaders commonly they start a little slow and then they think, okay, now we got to really pump it up.
Yeah, that's what I do. It's not good.
And it's just pumping up the tempo and the volume. But what you got to pump up is the meditation on the mantra, the entering into the mantra. And the way that I see these good kirtan leaders do that is they hit a nice pace. And then they kind of stay there. They know how to let it. I'm not saying you have to be real slow the whole time, but you get to a pace that's nice to dance to. But as soon as you go into the frantic, you kill it. And it takes. I'm not saying you. I'm saying anyone. And it takes time. The more time you give the audience, the participants,
let it build.
The more time you give them to get into it, it grows, and you can keep it at the same pace, and it continues to grow. And people start to be in total bliss, and the whole beautiful scene unfolds. So I was thinking,
is giving very important information for people leading kirtan or getting into kirtan. There's a tendency to also another big one is one volume. That's a sign of a neophyte kirtan person. They're just like one volume the entire time. Real dynamics make kirtan impressive when you can really start slow and soft and bring it louder, and then maybe even bring it softer again. And we sometimes in our newest phases, everything's just sort of loud or soft, but to mix it up like that is very powerful.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite kirtan leader lately?
Well, I mean, the latest kirtan that I really enjoyed the most was Niranjana Swami's. But
I'm talking about new up and coming kirtan people.
New up and coming kirtan leaders. Oh, I don't know, Rogo.
Have you heard Sachi Sutta?
Which Sachi Sutta?
Sachi Sutta, we know his mom from New York. Sachi's just Sachi Sutta Kirtan. So good.
You know who's really good, but his name is slipping my mind right now, but who serves Satchidananda Swami, Agora.
Gaur Krishna. Gaur Krishna, very good.
He's very good.
Amala Harinam, very good.
But he's not up and new
his
or anything
wife.
like that.
Well,
he's been around for a long time.
He's been around a while, but I mean, because he was born doing kirtan. His wife Nadia, very
Both
good.
Are excellent.
Krishna, Kirtan Premi. You guys should all write these down.
I don't know Kirtan Premi.
Oh God,
I've always heard his name. I heard how wonderful.
Next level.
Yeah. Great name, Kirtan Premi.
Good name, huh?
Yeah. But my other thought, I'll go ahead and I'll share it, Raghunath. And I realize that you use different mantras in different ways, and I appreciate the way that you do.
Do you?
But I do. Why are you throwing that at me? Why are you throwing that?
Because you're throwing a butt in there.
No. I'm saying that because what I'm about to share is not in the context, is not directed at you. That's my point. But let's say you're going into an ISKCON temple, right?
Yeah.
And you're leading a kirtan. Now, this is the way that I look at it. Everybody that's coming into the temple, we kind of share a certain understanding, a certain faith. that Sri Chaitanya gave not any mantra, he gave the Maha-mantra, right? And then and you know, where this, it just clicked in my head when Niranjan Swami was giving class on the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, this fascinating book. Oh my God, so fascinating. You know, it was telling the story of how Gopakumara, you know, how he received his mantra, and with faith that mantra could deliver him to his destination of Krishna Prema and Goloka Vrindavan. And he went, Raghunath, he went on a long journey, very long journey. He went up to the heaven. He was given the post of Indra. He was given the post of Brahma. You know, he spent years and years and years. You know, he continued to climb and climb and climb, always having faith that mantra would deliver him to his goal. And I think we need to have faith that the Maha-mantra, right, is, it will reveal everything to us. It will reveal, it will give us the deeper spiritual realizations. Ultimately, it will reveal our identity in the spiritual realm. We all agree on that. So if you're a kirtan leader in public leading a kirtan, you should chant the Maha-mantra so that we can all practice that together, you know, and not like just decide to do whatever you feel inspired to do. No, we're all here. We've come to this temple to take part in this, in this practice. Let's take part in it together. Let's chant the Maha-mantra.
Yeah, Lord Chaitanya also said there's hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda, all invested with my transcendental potencies.
They
So
do have
if you
a
want to chant other names, you can chant other names too.
No. You see exactly what you did right there, Raghunath. That's my point is, no, you can go ahead and justify. Yes, his names are invested with his potencies, but he didn't say that those names will give us to Krishna Prema. He didn't have us take vows to chant those other names 16 rounds. You know, this Maha-mantra that, you know, the Puranas and the Upanishads sing of, that in this age, that the chanting of these 16 words, you know, has it plays a particular role. And so my point is, if you want to chant those other names, chant it all you like, whenever you like, all the time. But if you're in a public setting, in a temple, like an ISKCON temple, then chant the Maha-mantra, where we all have agreed that this is our process, this is our path. That's all.
I rarely chant in ISKCON temples. But I am this weekend, which is the most like intimidating for me. I like chanting in front of people who don't know anything about bhakti, like public settings. I like chanting there. In ISKCON temples, I'm too, first of all, I'm self-conscious because I'm not as good as all these other people, and it becomes
you're good, like
people enjoy measuring myself. But I was asked to do it.
You're one of Kita Priya's favorite kirtan singers. You know that?
She's got low standards when it comes to that.
She's a high standards woman.
Yeah. All right. Let's get on with the show.
High level nugget here.
Got a high level nugget from
a high level drag queen.
From one of my favorite philosophers, RuPaul.
Okay, what's RuPaul got to say?
She's right up there. He's right there, up there with Plato and Socrates and okay. Our bodies, this is pretty interesting considering it's from RuPaul. Our bodies are just temporary vessels for our souls, which will go on forever. She's definitely met a Hare Krishna. Our bodies are just temporary vessels for our souls, which will go on forever. You really are an extension of the power that created the whole universe. That's our philosophy. No matter what drags you have on.
Different kind of drags.
I never knew drags meant clothing. A drag queen. I guess that's what it means.
When you're in drag, you're in the clothing.
I never thought about that. I didn't know what
do you think drag meant.
I don't know what it meant.
Okay. Thought it had something to do with like dragging something.
I don't know what. I just accepted drag queen, man dressed like a woman. That's what I thought.
So there are many drags that we wear, Raghunath, right?
But
man, woman.
I'm wearing a drag right now.
White,
then
American, all of these extra, you know, even species. It's a drag.
Species is a drag.
Something you put on, something you take off later on.
Yeah, in the
Right.
bigger picture, we're taking on and off our bodies. It's hard to think of it like that, but they're just sort of karmic suits that we've earned, like sort of badges you get when you get to a next play some video game, you get a badge or something. You get to a next level and you earn a different type of body or a
Sometimes you go
different type
backwards.
of,
So
and sometimes you go backwards according to your desires, and sometimes you're held there in a purgatory
holding pattern.
holding pattern. Who's the guy I'm into lately?
I don't know.
Come on. The
that
psychic, Hollywood psychic,
You're
Tyler
getting too
Henry.
carried away.
Tyler
Carried
Henry.
away.
Tyler Henry. He's what do you call it? He can communicate with the dead.
What about
they're
Teresa
just-
Caputo?
Kostuma sent me Teresa Kabuta. That was very funny. That was Saturday Night Live. What is it? The Long Island.
Long Island. What do they call it again?
Lo-
Medium.
The Long Island medium. That was very
But the
good.
best part of that was when she goes, "How many of you had a grandfather that died choking on a meatball palm?"
Meatball
And
parm.
everybody raises their hand.
It's like a bunch of Italians. That's a joke. A bunch of
And then
Italians.
everyone raised their hands, and then she says, and the name was Sal, and like everybody but one person has their arms still up, and one guy puts, "Oh, that's not me," and then she says, "Which is short for Salvatore," and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's me."
The funny thing is, what's the guy's name again? Tyler Henry. It's exactly what he does. He sounds just like
That's what I'm telling you.
Caputo, but I don't know. I think you see dead people.
I think Teresa Caputo is a real person. I don't think
Oh,
that was
really?
just an SNL thing. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Okay,
the
but
idea is
anyway,
that
back
there
to
are dead
RuPaul.
people, and yeah, back to RuPaul. Let's keep this more
Now
serious.
how
Let's
about
talk
Bhagavad
our
Gita?
favorite
Bhagavad Gita.
philosophical drag queen. Go on.
Here's Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 22. As a person puts on new garments, new drag, right? Giving up the old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
Give me the first word, Sanskrit.
The first Sanskrit word to that is vasangshi.
Vashamsi.
Vasamsi. Jirnani.
Yurnani.
Ta.
Yata. Vihaya.
There you go. Navani.
Navani.
Grinati.
Granati. Okay, I can't remember.
Naro Parani. Tatasharirani. Bahaya Jirnani. Anyani Samyati. Navani Dehi.
Dehi.
Navani Dehi.
Navani Dehi.
Yeah. Now, I like what RuPaul goes. She says not only that the bodies are temporary vessels for the soul, right on, which will go on forever. Correct. And then this, a little bit deeper still, you are really an extension of the power that created the whole universe, no matter what drags you're on. We're all made of the energy of God. We are all Sat Chit Ananda. We are all made of eternality, conscious wisdom and bliss. That's what we're made of. And we're just going through these different bodies. And when you think of that, when you think that I am an extension of the power that created the whole universe, I am the energy of Lord Vishnu, I am the energy of Lord Krishna. If you meditate on that daily, not just occasionally, bring your mind back to it on the regular, that should help us navigate this world. That should help us keep a steady mind as we move through this world, right? That should help us not get stuck in the mental loops and the lower consciousness, and whether it be self-loathing or other people loathing or boredom or all other types of ignorance. If we just keep our consciousness, that simple idea, I'm made of God's energy, you're made of God's energy, we're all made of God, we all have a similar common connection. Let's not forget this. Let's keep our consciousness up, right? RuPaul's doing us all a service by sharing this little announcement. Thank you, RuPaul.
I'm going through some mental fluctuations of my mind due to the holiday seasons. I think holidays can bring up certain emotions for people.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. It's sort of like
hold it. Tomorrow, Papa Tony's getting married.
Yeah, I know. I'm marrying Papa Tony. Not personally. I mean, personally, but I'm not marrying him.
If we're enough, you didn't tell us about
How do you say this? I'm hosting.
You're officiating.
I'm officiating. Thank you. Papa Tony, I love you.
Can anyone? Does anyone have any reason to object? Please speak up now. I love you, Papa Tony.
And
We
I'll
were
be
meant to
interactive.
be.
Okay, where were we? Anyway, it's a holiday week. My family's not here. My family's all with my ex-wife, and it's bringing up so many I
Oh, I
tell you,
see.
it would be like a turbulent. It is a turbulent ocean, but the ocean turbulence is much more minimized. Using this philosophy of Sanatan Dharma, of Krishna consciousness, to frame out pain, pleasure, family, separation from family. Without that, I think I would just be spinning out of control right now. I was still a little depressed, truthfully, yesterday, but I had a hard day. It was like a heavy cloud over me, even though everything's fine, everything's going well. But and I philosophically understand everything. Without
But
this
there's a little
philosophy to
something in
frame
there.
it out, I think I would just be drowning.
Well, but Raghunath, you're at a stage in your spiritual evolution where when you feel those feelings, rather than them being simply uh, 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 a dark place where you just kind of wallow, those feelings of emptiness, they're driving you, right? They're driving you to your spiritual destination. They're reinforcing your determination to transcend this world.
Sure.
And so,
I mean, I don't know, Mara. What
yeah,
was
kind of.
was I wallowing? Well, I just want to be honest here. Was I wallowing?
No, you
Little
weren't
bit.
following.
I mean, I did take shelter of the holy name. I also did take shelter in the John Gotti series, Get Gotti on Netflix, which, whenever you're going through some pain, you want to deal with that pain. And truthfully, I think it's I'm being very forthcoming publicly here. But TV is a great way to escape pain. It doesn't, of course, deal with the pain. Chanting japa is a great way. That's where I'm supposed to repose it, and I did, and I did good. But I also watched Get Gotti.
You fell asleep about 2 minutes in.
All
so
right,
you
2
didn't watch
minutes
much
in, I
of
watched
it.
Get Gotti for 2 minutes. Okay.
Well, is Rocco
My
going to be
point
down in
was,
Florida?
if I was really on my A game, I would have been like, "Oh, Krishna, I'm just going to lean into you instead of leaning into some." You call it Maya. It's a diversion, and people do it with drugs and alcohol and sex addiction and shopping and all different types of things. So I think it's good whenever stuff coming up, be it the holidays, that note what we're leaning into, and that is my note. I take shelter of the holy name.
Are you going to see Rocco when you go down to Florida? Is he down there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you'll be seeing him.
That's good. Anyway, we have our Bhakti recovery group for those really suffering it out, because we got to put this out
holiday
there.
Season is important.
The holiday season, it's
the
tough.
The Bhakti recovery group saved someone's life once, and during the Christmas season, if I recall.
That's what we know about, but there is
right.
We get messages all the time about Bhakti recovery group, about the podcast that saves lives, because life gets really hard. You don't know, Kostuba, you're Sutvik. Your life is smooth sailing. You're like on a speedboat to God right now. I'm on like a crazy
you know who's on the
sailboat tacking north and south in rocky waves.
You know who's on the speedboat to God? Vritrasura. And we're going to hear about it today.
Oh, you tied it in. Good for you. Good for you.
Exactly. You know who's on the rocky ride is Indra, and we're going to hear about that. Hey, why don't we do a quick little recap? Why don't you chant the mantras and do a quick little recap, and then dig in. There's good stuff coming up.
Let's see if I can make it without burping. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam dirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome in the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Meditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet.
Right there.
All right. Reading from the
So let's have a
Bhagavatam,
quick,
Canto 6, Chapter 11, Text 6.
a little recap.
Cliff Note Kostuba, we call him.
Well, think about it. Let's go back a little bit, Roghunath. Where did this all start? It started with Lord Indra. He was riding high. He was on his throne. He had the beautiful Sachi Devi by his side, who we call the true Miss Universe. Right? I know you like that one.
That was a good one. The true Miss Universe.
She's actually
Sachi is Indra's wife.
And he's the kind of the ruler of the whole universe in a sense. He was just, he was being praised. People were singing his glories. He was living in opulence, and he became bewildered in that state. He had a desire to enjoy opulence, to enjoy prestige, to enjoy fame, to enjoy all the accoutrements that come with it. And because he was swimming in that, because he was wallowing in that, he was diving and surfacing and trying to taste the flavors of prestige, etc., separate from his root, his design source, Lord Vishnu. Because he got lost, he became a little bewildered, he became a little intoxicated by it, and his guru came in, Brihaspati. He failed to honor him correctly. Mm-hmm. And he immediately knew when Brihaspati left, he said, you know what, I blew it. Because I understand how karma works. I understand how, and when you don't honor a person that's worthy of honor, it brings you down. It brings inauspiciousness into your life, and he became very worried, right? And his worries were well-founded. It was not long after that it was seen that he, along, with his team, his army, the Devas, they became weak. Their enemies attacked them. They couldn't defend themselves. They became desperate. They went to Lord Brahma, right? They went for some higher advice, some higher knowledge about how they could turn the situation around. He instructed them, you go to this Brahmana, what was his name again? Vishvarupa, a young, qualified. He's actually from the family of the demons, your enemies, but he's going to help you out. He's very qualified, and he's like, even though he's from the demon family, he's like a sage in the sense that he doesn't see friends and enemies. If you go and honestly present yourself before him, he'll help you. He's willing to help anyone. He'll help you. And even that's kind of shown that Vishvarupa was on a level higher in his realization than even Indra, who's been so religious and so dharmic. And then Vishvarupa says, okay, I can help you. And he prepares for them the Narayana Kavacha, an incantation to be chanted that would give them power to help them overcome their enemies. Indra took that incantation, chanted it. He was successful. He regained his kingdom, right? He was riding high again, right? So he's going through ups and downs. Material, focus, that's what it does to you, right? Sometimes you're riding high, then you come down. Now he started to come down again, because what happened was he caught wind of the fact that his priest, he's identifying that's our guy, he's supposed to be on our team now. He was not only helping Indra and the Devas. When asked by the Asuras, the enemies of Indra, for help, he was willing to help them too. If you ask me for help, I'll help. If you ask me for help, I'll help you too. That's how he saw things. And Indra, his understanding became so clouded with fear, right? Anxiety, dreading the very thought of maybe this priest would be the cause of his losing his position, that he did the unspeakable. he killed the Brahmana. He cut the 3 heads off of Vishvarupa. And that dastardly deed, that you know,
Dastardly.
we all
Dull.
do things that we regret, stupid things, you know. What was I thinking? I lost it. He lost it when he did that, and there was a price to pay. And the price to pay was the father of Vishvarupa used his incantations to create Vritrasura, this most fearsome beast of a warrior that came out of the fire with copper-colored hair and eyes and a huge trident, and he's just ready to tear into Indra. He's born to kill Indra, and now Indra has to face him. He's wounded. His warriors are wounded. They've been now. Then Indra, once Vritrasura came onto the scene, Indra had to go back and try to figure out, what do we do now, right? And he was given the advice by Vishnu himself: go to the sage Dadichi, ask him to give up his body for you, take his bones, and these bones can be used to create a weapon that can kill Vritrasura. Now Indra has to go humble himself again. He's got to embarrass himself. He's got to ask a sage, give me your body. I need it. And the sage is like, well, preach to me a little bit about why I should be so detached from my body. And then Indra has to do the humiliating thing where he preaches to the sage, like, well, we shouldn't be attached to the things of this world, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, and that's why you want me to give up my body so that you can maintain your place in this world. Okay. And he says, I'll do that. Now Indra has the weapon, and he's facing Vritrasura. He's out on the battlefield. We were reading yesterday how he's on his elephant. He's glowing, like it's saying his effulgence is so great, it's hard to even look at him. He's powerful, he's heroic, but he's facing a deadly enemy. And Vritrasura is calling him right now. Vritrasura is alone on the battlefield. His warriors have been chased off by the Devas, but Vritrasura is saying, okay, Indra, you and me now. Stand before me and let's fight. That's where we pick up today.
Good recap, Kostuba.
Yeah, what Indra's going through is it's trying to show us that we may think that we're a devotee of God, but until we let go of all of that other stuff, we go through, we get embarrassed by this world. We experience fear and anxiety and pain and so much. And we're going to see that actually Vritrasura has let go of everything. It's beautiful verses at the end of this chapter.
The material world is embarrassing. You get yourself into some embarrassing situations.
Yep, you sure do.
I think a lot of the stories in my book are me getting put in embarrassing situations and humbled. Okay.
All right.
Sukadeva Goswami said, he was the narrator, Vritrasura, the angry and the most powerful hero, terrified the demigods with his stout and strongly built body. When he roared with a resounding voice, nearly all living entities fainted.
Whew.
When all the demigods heard Vritrasura's tumultuous roar, which resembled that of a lion, they fainted and fell to the ground as if struck by thunderbolts. As the demigods closed their eyes in fear, Vritrasura, taking up his trident and making the earth tremble with his great strength, trampled the demigods beneath his feet on the battlefield, the way a mad elephant tramples hollow bamboos in the forest.
Crunch.
Did you see the thing I posted about the mad elephant?
I did see that. That was crazy.
I stumbled upon this channel that has all these animals just like losing it on humans or stalking humans.
Well, this had an elephant was running straight at the guy on the road, and the guy was driving backwards as fast as he could, and the elephant just wouldn't let up.
I saw another one with a rhinoceros too. Yeah, that's what you get when you're going to get too close to the cubs of the elephant. Is it an elephant cub?
I don't know.
Calf? Okay.
Calf, maybe.
Calf. O king, the powerful Vritrasura. Oh, I'm sorry. Seeing Vritrasura's disposition, right? He had a bad attitude. Indra, the king of heaven, became intolerant and threw at him one of his great clubs.
Raghunath, wait till you hear this description. Wait till you hear this. So he's got a club. You could imagine. he's on top of this powerful elephant. He's got this huge club and he's whipping the thing around. He's, you know, anybody else practically in the universe, this club starts flying at them, they're gone. Listen to what happens.
It was a whole art fighting with clubs. I found a guy in Varanasi who's a club fighter.
Okay.
They just like now they use them all as exercise. They've become pretty popular. The Indian mace for like exercise things, but
club
actually,
knowledge.
but it's an incredible workout too. It's almost like next level kettlebell type of thing. It's a big weighted stick. I've got a couple myself.
But you don't use them.
I do use them. Mara,
you told me you didn't use them.
Mara, tell him.
You started using them now?
Yeah.
Okay, since I called you out on it last time.
But anyway, but I can't imagine like it's like a whole art of fighting with these things. And part of the art was whipping them at people, which takes a lot of force. And there's probably a lot of tricks too. In the same way you like throw a curveball or a screwball or a sinker, you know, in baseball. O King, Prickett, the powerful.
No, you haven't read the whole verse.
However, as the club
flew
towards him, Vritrasura easily caught it with his left hand.
With the left hand.
Not even his right hand, his left hand. O King Prickett, the powerful Vritrasura, the enemy of King Indra, angrily struck the head of Indra's elephant. With that same club, making a tumultuous sound on the battlefield.
Oh man, imagine all the Devas must have been looking at this saying, "Oh my God, there's no stopping him."
For this heroic deed, the soldiers on both sides glorified him.
They had to glorify it. They had to appreciate it.
Well, the fact was he caught the club and whipped it back. So it's an impressive move, unless you're an animal lover.
Yeah, I mean, he took out. He you wait to see what it does to Airavata the elephant. It's like serious.
When he saw Indra's carrier,
struck by the club of Vritrasura.
I'm sorry, Mara's really on the game today. She's moving everything forward, and I'm going down. Okay, struck with the club.
Can't you do this yourself, Raghunath? Is it so hard to scroll a little?
Look at her face. She's going, no. I am not qualified for the material world. I've realized.
It's the easiest thing.
I realize I'm completely incapable of existing within this material world. I exist on good luck, good karma, and the mercy of the Vaishnavas exclusively.
Okay.
I should be dead by now.
Right.
I have no qualifications here. Struck with the club of Vritrasura like a mountain struck by a thunderbolt. The elephant Airavata, feeling great pain and spitting blood from his broken mouth, was pushed back 14 yards. I didn't know they measured with the yards. In great distress, the elephant fell with Indra on its back.
Oh, man. You don't want to fall on top of an elephant. It can fall on top of you. Anything can happen.
When he saw Indra's carrier elephant thus fatigued and injured, and when he saw Indra morose because of his carrier had been harmed in that way, the great soul Vritrasura, following Dharma, religious principles, refrained again from striking Indra with a club, because that's where people would attack.
He's down. I wait till he gets back up.
While you're down.
No. Taking this opportunity,
Indra touched the elephant with his nectar-producing hand,
No.
thus relieving the animal's pain and curing its injuries. Ooh, interesting. Then the elephant and Indra both stood silently. That's sort of like Star Trek type of thing. They touch you, and all of a sudden you're healed.
Or the death grip. But yeah, so they're back up, but they're very intimidated now. What can you do with this guy, you know?
Right. Sri Vritrasura said,
"No.
O king, when the great hero Vritrasura saw Indra, his enemy, the killer of his brother, standing before him with a thunderbolt in his hand, desiring to fight, Vritrasura remembered how Indra had cruelly killed his brother."
Now he's referring to when Indra killed Vishvarupa, the priest.
Cut off his 3 heads.
Yeah.
Thinking of Indra's sinful activities, he became mad with lamentation and forgetfulness. Right? That's what happens when you get touched by your heart. Laughing sarcastically, he spoke as follows.
Okay, dramatic reading, Raghunath.
He who has killed a Brahmin who has killed his spiritual master. Indeed, he who has killed my brother is now, by good fortune, standing before me face to face as my enemy. Oh, most abominable one, when I pierce your stone-like heart with my trident, I shall be freed from the debt to my brother.
Oh, and for Indra, he kind of thinks, well, I'm the righteous one. I'm on the side of Vishnu, but hearing these words has to be very piercing to his heart, not only terrifying, but also just like, how did I get to be the bad guy here? I'm the bad guy now.
The narrative has reversed.
Flipped the script.
And when you hear it, it's almost like hearing the testimony of somebody on trial. You're hearing the other
In
side.
the courtroom. You.
Only for the sake of living in the heavenly planets, you killed my elder brother, a self-realized, sinless, qualified Brahmin who had been appointed your chief priest. He was your spiritual master. But although you entrusted him with the performance of your sacrifice, you later mercifully severed his heads from his body the way one butchers an animal.
Yeah, without mercy. Mercilessly.
Mercilessly.
Oh, man.
You are
Indra?
naturally very cruel.
No.
Indra, you are bereft of all shame, mercy, glory, and good fortune. Deprived of these good qualities by the reactions of your fruitive activities, you are to be condemned even by the man-eaters, the Rakshasas. Now I shall pierce your body with my trident. Imagine getting hit by a trident.
Oof.
That was a pretty good weapon. A trident.
Sure.
And after you die with great pain, even fire will not touch you. Only the vultures will eat your body.
Oh, man. So he mentioned here, Indra, you are bereft of all shame, mercy, glory, and good fortune, deprived of these good qualities from what? What deprived you of those qualities? By the reactions of your fruitive activities. You're so bent on being the wealthy guy, being the big leader, being the big shot, having all the power, that you did horrible things to maintain that. Look how your desires have driven you to go to this low depths. You haven't got control of those.
You had to be a big shot, didn't you? Had to get knocked down from your elephant. You had to be.
And then he said, just to rub salt into the wound.
You are naturally.
Fire will not touch you. Only the vultures reach your body. We're not even going to burn your body at the end of this thing.
No.
We're just going to let your horrible body be eaten by the vultures. They're going to be eating your body any minute now.
You are naturally very cruel. If the other demigods, unaware of my prowess, follow you by attacking me with raised weapons, I shall sever their heads with my sharp trident. With those heads, I shall perform a sacrifice to Bhairava and the other leaders of the ghosts along with their hordes.
They must have been like, we're okay.
We're okay. You just get Indra. We're cool. We're out of here.
If you take down Indra, we surrender.
Ever see that Bhairava deity? That's that ferocious form of Lord Shiva. But if in this battle you cut off my head with your thunderbolt and kill my soldiers, O Indra, O great hero, I shall take great pleasure in offering my body to other living entities such as jackals and vultures. I shall thus be relieved of my obligations. He's like, whether I win or lose, I'm okay with that. Like, he's fearless right now.
Yes.
I shall thus be relieved of my obligations to the reactions of my karma, and my fortune will be to receive the dust from the lotus feet of the great devotees like Narada Muni. So he's
now,
yeah.
Raghunath, he's about to launch into some of the most, he's going to reveal that deep in the heart of that ogre, right? Deep in the heart of that most fearsome, demonic looking creature, there's the heart of pure devotion. It's a heart that holds within it pure love than Indra can even dream of. Although Indra identifies himself as a devotee of Lord Vishnu, he's going to see that actually that fearsome, terrifying beast on the other side of the battlefield actually holds within his heart pure devotion. And look at the results. Indra's sitting here saying, "Oh my God, this would be the worst thing if I was killed on this battlefield and vultures were eating my body." Vritrasur's like, "I'm ready either way. If I die in this battlefield, I don't care. I'm even happier. Let the jackals and vultures eat this body. I have no attachment to this body. I don't identify with this body. I identify only as the servant of the servant of the servant of Lord Vishnu. So Indra, do what you will. Let's go."
There's something a little scary about a person who's not afraid to die.
That's right. Well, he's
Something
looking at it
sort of
right
like
in the face.
inspiring about it too.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Mhm. And now he's talking
That's
about
what's
Narada Muni. He starts throwing this stuff out like, and then I received the dust from the lotus feet of the great devotees like Narada Muni. Like Indra's
That
like,
must have
"What?"
thrown Indra for like, oh wait a second, this guy's a devotee.
Yeah. First of all, he's made me feel like he's made Indra. This is the result of mixed devotion. Indra's feeling it all right now. He's got fear. He's got anxiety. He's got humiliation. Now he's like, I thought I had like God on my side. It seems like this demon does. Who am I? Who am I? What have I become?
Who am I? Okay. Let's go. Ready?
Yes.
19. Oh, King of the Demigods. That is one of the best soundtracks ever. Les Mis. Come on, Costume. You should listen to Les Mis.
I don't know it. I don't want to know it.
You're missing out on something wonderful.
That's okay.
I'm Jean Valjean. It was the last cassette I had moving into the ashram. It was the last cassette I had. I gave up everything except my Les Mis cassette.
Text 19.
Text 19. O King of the Demigods, since I, your enemy, am standing here before you, why don't you hurl your thunderbolt at me? Although your attack upon me with your club was certainly useless, like a request of money from a miser, the thunderbolt you carry will not be useless. You need have no doubts about this.
This is glorious, right? I mean, for like warriors, this is glorious, right? He's saying, you have a weapon that you could use to kill me. Pick it up and throw it at me. I'm telling you right now, it'll work. Throw your weapon, Have no doubts about this. Why? Because he knows that thunderbolt, the whole instruction of how to get that thunderbolt came from Lord Vishnu himself. He knows he's destined to die. He's embraced it. He has no fear.
Wait, the thunderbolt came from the bones? Doesn't Indra eternally have that thunderbolt?
No, this was the special one that came from Dadichi.
Okay. All right. O Indra, King of Heaven, the thunderbolt you carry to kill me has been empowered by the prowess of Lord Vishnu and the strength of Dadichi's austerities. Since you have come here to kill me in accordance with Lord Vishnu's order, there is no doubt that I shall be killed by the release of your thunderbolt. Lord Vishnu has sided with you. Therefore, your victory, opulence, and all good qualities are assured.
Sometimes you see a boxer, like say, come on, you seen that kind of thing before?
Yeah.
Like, stand up, man. Come on, let's go, and here it's even more special because he's ready to die. He's eager to die. And he's realizing my enemy, Indra, he's afraid of me, and he's trying to tell him, don't be afraid of me, stand up, you can do this. Indra's just like gotta be so confused and demoralized, and he's found himself in a very odd situation, a very, very odd situation. Even when he kills him, how's he going to feel good about it?
There's another type of beauty of Vritrasura in his accepting his own death. Like, this is what Krishna wants. This is what Lord Vishnu wants. Yet I'm still going to go through with it's like Jatayu, knowing he's going to be killed by Kamsa.
Yeah.
But he's dying for Lord Ram.
He's playing his role here.
He's playing his role. This
Sometimes
is
that's what it's about. Playing our role without identifying.
He's killed by Ravana. I'm sorry. Sorry, what did I say? Killed by Ram.
Kamsa.
I'm so sorry.
Marijuana.
And there's something beautiful about just saying, you know what? It's one of these qualities we get as a devotee. It's awarded to us when we are in service. It's not, doesn't have to be mustered up. It's like, I have a duty to do and I might die, and that's okay. It's like these devotees that are out there now in these countries that will kill you if they find out you're giving Bhagavad Gitas to people. There's countries out there right now that imprison you, torture you, kill you. And their mood is, you know what? We're going to do it anyway. It's so darn impressive.
Okay, one more verse and then we'll break.
Oh wow, it's late. Time goes fast when you're singing songs, Kastuba.
Yeah.
By the force of your thunderbolt, I shall be freed of material bondage and shall give up this body and this world of material desires. Fixing my mind upon the lotus feet of Lord Shankarshan, I shall attain the destination of great sages as Narada Muni, such as Lord Shankarshan has said.
Okay. So now what's going to happen tomorrow? We hit the prayers of Vritrasura that are going to reveal the real meaning of this entire canto. We're going to see the heart, the loving heart, the sentiments within the loving heart of a devotee. Even one that appears to be like an absolutely fearsome demon, you know. So it'll be pretty cool. Tomorrow's will be a good show.
So make sure you join us tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow.
Mara?
I got some takeaways.
You're always a day.
Life is a celebration. Choose a religion that dances. Bump up the meditation on mantra. Have faith, the Maha-mantra will reveal everything.
You gotta have it.
We wear many drags.
We do.
We do.
Cowherd boy?
Yeah. That was your drag.
Yeah. Keep a steady mind because we are all made of God's energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Know what we're leaning into to escape our pain.
Oh, take note.
Yeah.
House of Pain.
Material focus keeps you on a roller coaster of ups and downs.
Up and down.
Roller coaster.
Like until we let go of our attachments, we get embarrassed by the material world.
Embarrassing.
Devotees in service are awarded fearlessness. And
Yes.
let the jackals eat this body. I identify only as a servant of Vishnu.
Let the jackals eat the body. Let the jackals eat the body every day. That's your takeaway today. That's a t-shirt right there. Thanks everybody for joining us. Look at Abhishek Guy. This guy is inspired. Look at that baby. What baby? Oh, Abhishek's got a baby. I thought he was a baby. How old are you, kid? Looks like he's 10. Abhishek, how old are you? Like an adult? Like, yes, Prabhu.
His niece.
That's his niece. Okay. He might still be a kid. Oh, look at that little baby. That's like one of those babies.
He's 21.
Who's 21? Okay. Oh, the baby's waving. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Abhishek. What's your baby's name, Abhishek? Put it on the board. That's our new youngest listener. Move over, Karuna. Got more babies on the show. I'd like to see Nitai Lieberman and his family down in Alachua, Florida.